Hello, hello. So, just thought I would talk to you a little bit about dads, dads. Um, it's a, we've started our course, our Dads in Recovery course, and so it doesn't matter whether you're a divorced dad or an old dad or a very young dad or a new dad. Um, it's a for many of us it's kind of like holy shit, trying on a new suit. We're trying on we're, we weren't dads, our kids kind of made us dads, right? And now we're in the job, and how do we do this job? How do we show up in this job? And it's what's come up, what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of emotion around it. There's a lot of confusion around it. If you're a dad and a dad in recovery, I mean, just being a human being in recovery, a man or a woman without kids in recovery it's a whole new thing. We're in a way trying to grow up and be, I got people in recovery say we're adulting. We're going to be an adult. And because many of us, doesn't matter how old we were when we sobered up, we weren't very mature. And now, if you're a dad, and a mom too, but if you're a dad in recovery, it's like, holy shit, how do I do this? And many of us it's been hard for us to how do we love? How do we love? Because many of us came from families where dad wasn't very available, or maybe we had alcoholism and addiction in the family, and so it wasn't a real loving atmosphere. We don't know what that really means. And so now we're in this new job, and we're confused, so we're trying to figure out how to live in such a way where we're not grossly self-centered. The addict and the alcoholic is generally, I mean, the nature of the illness, as we understand it in recovery, is that we've been very self-centered, and me, and now we have kids, and we're like, okay, what do I do? How do I be? I know that I want to be a great dad, and that's the story I hear from all the men that I'm working with. They all say the same thing. Yes, they want to be a great dad, and they're not sure, a lot of how to be that. And I think there's just yes, there's lots of practical, but there's this magic of love, the magic of love. And it doesn't matter if you're in a situation where you can't see your kids, and that happens. I've got some guys that are very restricted on how often they can see their kids, and some guys that haven't seen their kids in years. But love doesn't know any boundaries. Love doesn't know any distance. So my piece about this is to spend some time every day, sending love to your kids. If you're in a situation, if you're a divorced dad and there's a problem and you're not able to see your kids, doesn't matter who created that. If I mean, we're all going through rebuilding. We all have damage to repair. Doesn't matter who created it. But if you're in that situation and you just want to, you feel this emptiness because you can't even see your kids, just know that you can send love. You can just send love. You can sit and think of them and send love. Just little I love yous. And just think of them and send love. And there isn't any time or distance in the realm of love. There isn't any time or distance in the realm of love. So just send it. Boom. And it's not that natural for us because we're more physical. We want to touch and be, and that's beautiful when we can be with our kids and we can touch them and pick them up and, and hug them and all of those things. I mean, those are things that are natural to do as a dad. But if we can't be with them, just really focus on sending love and make a time where we send love. And if we're Consistency is really important. If you happen to be in a situation where you don't live in the same city and you can't, call them, call them. You know, make it a regular thing. I have somebody I know really, 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 really well, who for 12 years, his daughter's now 14, I think. For 12 years, at 7:30 every day, he calls her. Every day. Does she know that he loves her? You bet she knows. You know, does that show in how she appears in the world? You bet it does, because love is so powerful. Love is magic. And 12 years. And I mean, I know I've been there the whole time. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but and I know it has happened, you know. When she's not with him, every day, 7:30, his alarm goes off in his phone and he calls. You know, doesn't mean he gets to talk every day, but she knows he called. And isn't that magic? That's love. You know, so you can do that. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't have to be a certain way. You know, oh, I only want to see her if I can see her in person. Just call, show your love. And love is very powerful. And our kids, you know, if we're concerned, and many of us are, about breaking the chain of addiction and mental illness in our families, you know, showing that love consistently goes a long way towards that. Love is very, very healing. So we're raising kids. We're dads raising kids. You know, I'm blown away by how the response to this in the last little while. How many men have stepped up and said, "Oh, I want to be part of this. You know, this course is up and running right now. We'll do it again, and you know, there's going to be different variations of this, but the whole idea is to support men in being great dads, and also to help men to see how important it is. Like, it's super important. It's an important job. It's like, you know, you have a child, and it doesn't matter. I believe this with all my heart. It doesn't matter if your kids are in their 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, and you know, they need your love. They need just to say, hey, how are you? You know, give them a call, send them your love out, however you can do it. So that's my message today, my love message for dads and dads in recovery. It seems so simple, right? It seems so simple. And in the course, we cover a lot of practicals, but this is not about that. This is just a love message. If you're a dad in recovery, I'd love to talk to you about how it's going. You know, call me, message me. Let's talk about it. And you know, what's working. You know, it's hard to measure, isn't it? It's like, oh, am I being a good dad? It's hard to measure because it's, you know, this one place where we often have to surrender the results. We just love, we show our love in the ways that we can, and we surrender the results. We recognize that they're really not in our hands in so many ways. So that's it. Love you guys. And I'm just so grateful to be able to share these messages about dads in recovery. My life has changed because of this. You know, this is a big deal for me and hopefully for others. And that's it. Love you lots. Thanks for watching. Love it if this is on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, love it if you'd, you know, follow the channel, subscribe, maybe share this if it tweaks for you, and make a comment, you know, ask a question, whatever. And that's it. Love you lots. Thanks. Bye.